So Rachel already knows this. I'm sorry. You're gonna have to hear this one more time. But we're here because Rory and I said a prayer and we asked God to help us during our slow season to help us make income by specifically helping other people. That was the prayer that we said. And that same day, we ran into Ken, who I hadn't seen in like 9 years. And that day, Ken was coming out of CrossFit. He was leaving the gym and he was with his wife and he had no shirt on and he all you could see is like his little abs like all marked and he's like and I'm like, Ken, I'm like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? I'm like, are you aging backwards? And Ken was like, actually I am. And he showed me his patch and he told me what the patch was all about. And I instantly knew that this was the blessing that I had asked God for, because that's how he answers. When we pray, God always has a way for us, and it's just up to us to see it, you know? So I knew right away. I knew in my heart that that was my prayer was being answered and I wanted in right away. Rory was definitely more hesitant because he likes to take his time. He likes to test things out for himself first, which is great. Um, but I just knew, I had the belief right away. And Rory was like, I need to see it, I need to feel it, and then if it works, then I'll sell it and I'll talk about it.
I said I wanted to see it work on a kid or an elderly person,
Yeah.
you know, really doesn't know what's going on.
Yeah, because they won't know placebo. So yeah, so Ken told us about this patch. We got the biggest pack because we wanted to share with as many people as possible, and we wanted to give it to people that we knew that were in pain, that were having problems sleeping. My nephew was nonverbal, so that was like a perfect patient right there. So we got our family on it, and it's been 3 months now, and the testimonies and the results that we've been seeing have been mind blowing. And I have to say that him and I are pretty healthy, so we don't have pain. Like I don't have like pain or things that I noticed right away. But what I did notice was my mood like I just became happier, more positive. I used to just be really quick to anger. Oh, let's lower that monitor. I used to be really really quick to anger, and I feel like, right baby, haven't I been better?
Oh yeah.
Like it's been
Absolutely. Oh yeah.
he's oh yeah, no, but seriously, like now I feel like I have self-control. I used to pray, God, please give me self control, because you could have all the love in the world. You could be, you could do all these things, but without self control, like you're a loose cannon. And I hated it. Like I would yell at my kids and then feel bad about it. And it just was like this cycle. And I hated it. And I was like, what is wrong with me? Why can't I like control myself? So since then I noticed that now I'm not screaming at my kids. I have so much more self-control, which has been amazing, and obviously the glory is to God, but I feel like the patch is the vessel that he's using to help us all. And also my workout routine, like I feel stronger when I go to the gym. I'm doing things that I've never done. Like I did 25 push-ups, and I've never in my life done 25 push-ups. That's I do maybe 3 and I'm like, so just things that I was like, wow, I things that I but that was for me. What about for you?
I definitely noticed more energy, uh, clarity, and focus, and then also big time on the recovery at the gym. I wasn't as sore, and I uh, can't really say anything else. But those were some big changes for sure. Sleep's a little better.
Yeah, he had problems sleeping and he says he's sleeping better. But the biggest thing for me, this is where this is, we prayed for God to show us. And this is the biggest testimony is my dad. So my dad broke his leg about when we went to Spain. That was in
Last summer.
last summer. And he's been in bed ever since. His whole life changed because he had to go to rehab and he had to do all these things, and he just was never the same again.
He
He
had to get
didn't
pretty extensive surgery.
Yeah, he had to get a crazy surgery, and he just wasn't himself anymore. He wanted to sleep all day. He had no energy. Like all he did was get up, eat, go back to bed. That was his life. And whenever they would go somewhere, he would look for a chair, look for the nearest chair, and then he would sit down and not get up. And he wasn't happy anymore. And we put him on the patch. And within weeks, my mom called me and she's like, "What I'm seeing in your dad is a miracle." She's like, "I've never, ever seen anything like this." She's like, "Your dad has tons of energy. He's waking up, he's cleaning, he's picking up couches, he's dusting, he's doing spring cleaning. He's like more active than I've ever seen him." Um, and this is something, should I share that part with my mom? This is something that I don't know if I should share. It's kind of personal, but I feel like it could help people, so why not? So he had a stroke and he had to take medication for like to be intimate with my mom. And now, after being on the patch, he's a beast. No, I'm just kidding. But no, but after being on the patch, he doesn't need the medication anymore. My mom was telling me, she's like, "This is all around. My dad is such a like he's pressure washed our entire house today. Just keep that in mind. He's in his 60s. He's almost 70, and he pressure washed our entire house. He's such a good grandpa. He's full of energy. He never stops, and he's so happy. He's walking. He's a miracle. He really is a miracle. Also, my nephew, who was nonverbal, he hasn't been diagnosed, but he doesn't make eye contact and he doesn't speak. He was saying like little words here and there. We put him on the patch. He's speaking sentences now. He's focusing, he's making eye contact. He's a different kid. And that was something that we were both like, "Oh my gosh." I mean, that's what he was saying. He's like, "I'll believe it when I see a kid get better." So and there's so many more. Ken will go on and share some of his testimonies when he starts the presentation and show you guys. But we've seen so many people, just getting better, feeling better. And that's exactly what we prayed for and what we asked God for. And for the healthy people, you may not see a huge change in your lifestyle or right away, but you'll see differences, like small differences, maybe with your sleep, with your energy, like all the other things. Skin, hair, nails. Yeah. So Ken, if you want to take it from here, I'll let you run with it. Hello?
Thanks. Got my mute.
Oh.
All righty. Well, Diana, thanks. And it's been such a blessing to see what the Lord has really done with this patch in your family and bringing the hope to your family. And that's really what this patch is about. It's really bringing hope to people you love and care about and people you don't even know. And so thank you for sharing. And so it's been great to see, what's been happening for your family, and can't wait to see the blessings that are continue to expand, in more people's lives, and hopefully even out of this call tonight. Well, like Diana said, my wife and I, my wife is also named Diana, and we've been married this month to be 33 years. We got married 2/22/92 at 2:00. So I guess the Lord knew I needed to do that, so I wouldn't forget. But no, it's been awesome. And well, it's not been easy, but it's been awesome. And yes, because of the patch, our marriage literally is better. I had an 18-man advertising company, and I got introduced to this patch about 8 months ago. And I already was pretty physically fit, CrossFit, intermittent fasting, supplements. And I always tell people, I feel like I'm 21. I don't feel like I'm 30, 40, or 50. And that's before the patch. So when I got these patches, I just want to share with everybody. I just thought it was good for preventive maintenance. I didn't realize the stress I was under running my 18-man advertising company down in Sarasota Lake and Ranch, and I live up here in Trinity, Florida, and that the stress I had for 10 years. I didn't realize how much stress I was under, and I couldn't find good sales reps, so I just had to get out there and continue to hustle selling ads. And payroll was basically based up to me, and I had 18 people really relying on me. And a lot of stress as small business owners. And I didn't realize that in 2.5 weeks, my stress would go from here down to here. And so like 85%, and never came back. I do have stress, but nothing like I used to. And I call this thing a happy patch. Seriously, because it brings more contentment and peace. And I'm going to show you in a minute clinically that this thing does. It literally balances the brain in 4 to 6 weeks. And so, but we'll get into that in a minute. So, but my story real quick, and here's what's going to happen tonight. Let me just kind of snapshot this so we can honor everybody's time. It's 7:20 right now. The goal is to be off here, and we're going to break this presentation. I'm going to share it with you in about 2 parts tonight. And so, and hopefully, depending on what part you stay, it could be 20 minutes from now, or you can stay a little longer. I just want to make sure you're clear on what this is, particularly this patch. And because the hope in it is such a gift to everyone. Everybody has stem cells and they're all going dormant. We'll get to that. But so our dear friend introduced us, Joyce Johnson. She lives over here in Trinity. She's an IRS agent, CPA, retired. Both her and her husband are. And she was in a car wreck back in 2019. 2 times she was rear-ended and the doctors put 4 titanium discs in her neck. And I remember she was never the same after that. She had throat swallowing issues. My wife would drive her place at the time because she just still was in a lot of pain. And I remember, fast forward back just a little 2 years ago, she calls and says, "Hey, listen, all my pain's gone, my throat pain's gone, my hair is going back thicker." And I said, "What are you talking about?" I said, "I got this, I'm wearing this stem cell reactivation patch and it's changed my life." And I said, "You need to send me something on this." And she said, "Also, my sister who has bone on bone, severe knee pain, migraines, cleared her migraines, and she's feeling so much better." And so I said, "Send me a link on it. Let me take a look." I took a look at this. I said, "This is crazy. It's the patch. Nothing goes in our body. It's going to basically take our existing stem cells that I didn't know we had that were dormant and turn them back on." And I said, "Everybody needs this." So I bought the biggest batch I could of this, and I started mailing out to my family and friends that, "Hey, listen, I found the sticker. Put it on you. It's safe. 12 hours on, 12 hours off. Doesn't matter what kind of medication you're on. And tell me what happens." And that's basically, I wouldn't do that now, but I didn't know any better. I was just excited and I just believed it was going to work. And we started getting testimonies back. My daughter, like I said, we have 10 grandbabies. We have 5 children. And so one of our daughters had given birth to her 3rd child 8 months earlier, and she had postpartum hair loss, all kinds of weird emotional issues, brain fog. And the first day after we're in the past, she called me, says, "Dad, you're not going to believe this." I said, "What's up?" She says, "I just cleaned all the drawers out in the girls' room. I cleaned their closet out too, making room for little Kendall May, and my brain fog is gone, and I have more energy to spare." And I said, "Wow, that's awesome, because I've been wearing this for a week. I don't feel nothing yet." And then her husband, he's in the Coast Guard. He's a young go-getter. He's 32. He's going to retire here in 6 years and 38. But they're in Louisiana, and he calls me at 9 o'clock at night after the first day wearing the patch. "Hey, Mr. Burke, what's up, Stephen? I just taught all 8 hours of the Coast Guard, and I was focused. So I'm not. And I usually get back on my phone, whatever. Then I got on my riding mower, stand-up mower, which usually beats me up, and I mowed 4 yards. And I didn't have my neck pain, back pain, or shoulder pain that I have therapy twice a week for once I got off. So, and then I sat down at 7:30 and ate with my 3 daughters and Brittany, and I was engaged. First, I wanted to jump off and go see the fishing channel. And I said, "Wow, it's pretty amazing, Stephen." And fast forward, Stephen also had PTSD issues. He was in the time he was in the Coast Guard up in Destin, Florida for a season. And there was a helicopter went off the coast from the military base and blew up and basically blew everybody up to pieces. And he had to go and pick all those body parts up. And when you're 20 some odd years old, that wreaks havoc on your life. That havoc ends up dumping on my daughter and my grandbabies. And so, and him on the patch now, 2 years later, he's not like that. And I see him under pressure. I'm like, man, thank God he's not like he used to be. So that's a blessing as a dad and a granddad to see the less stress. And so thank God for that. But so here's what I'm going to do tonight is I'm going to share a presentation. And I'm actually going to play an excerpt from a naturopath doctor in California who she's going to share her 12-month journey on this patch. And it's really awesome. And why she requires all her patients to wear the patch. Right? But she's going to unpack some of the science of it also. Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to come in and kind of give a history, a little bit more on it. And this is going to be happening real fast. And then you're going to find yourself really being one of 3 people tonight. And I categorize it in a 3 and a 2 and a 1. And if you're a 3, you're someone who says, "Hey, Ken, I like what I see, but I want to do more research." Hey, totally get it. Or, "Ken, I'm a 2. I like what I see, and I actually want to get some of these patches and try them out for me and my family." Sure, we can show you how to do that. Or, "Ken, I'm a 1. I like what I see. I'm definitely going to get some patches for me and my family, and I want to hit the go button on this rewarding program offered financially to those who share it, not sell it." All right. And there's a big difference. And so, but I'll cut the presentation in half after the end of the patch and the science of it. Ask if anybody has any questions. And for those who want to stay on, they can stay on. I'll share how much the patches are and how the company rewards those who share it. And this is an affiliate marketing program. It's not a pyramid. Those are illegal. And my good name is highly respected in Sarasota, Manatee County, even though I live up here. People know my name, Ken Burke, very well. They renew my company very well down there, Hometown News USA, and in all the chambers. And so thankfully, my name is protected when I'm sharing this patch. And so, which is a blessing, thanks to this amazing opportunity and the integrity of this company. So, but that's how it's going to go tonight. So let's go and run. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to screen share Dr. Jen O'Sullivan and have her quickly unpack. And it's pretty amazing as she shares her testimony, what's happening and the science of it. And I'll jump back in and then we'll proceed from there. So let me share my screen here. My sound is up. And stay this here.
This is a little bit about what has happened to me. So within just 24 hours, I had zero inflammation. 2 weeks in, I realized I wasn't using any of my hormone supplements anymore. This amounted to $398 before tax and shipping of supplements that I no longer needed. I still take multivitamins, stuff like that, but the stuff I was taking for my hormones and my inflammation, I no longer needed. This was huge. Not only for my pocketbook, but for my body. At 6 weeks, I noticed that my nails were growing like crazy. They were noticeably stronger and healthier. At 3 months, I remember, I'm 51 today. This is my birthday today. And I noticed my skin just looked better. My décolletage cleared up. I wasn't so wrinkly anymore. It was really interesting. 4 months, I had this broken rib that I broke twice. I'm a mountain biker, and the twice broken rib, same rib, caused a lot of nerve damage. And I noticed at about 4 months that it was healing, which was wild. And it's after 2 years now. I've been using this product for 2 years. It's completely healed. Like, I don't have any nerve damage there anymore. It used to be like when I'd go in for a massage, I'd say, can you just be careful right there? It hurts. So it was just like nerves, like some funky stuff going on back there. But anyhow, 9 months in, I realized my gluten allergy had healed. Many of you know my story from the past decade that I'm pretty aggressive celiac, and I don't have any allergy to gluten anymore, which doesn't mean I'm eating gluten. But if I do eat gluten, if I decide to, which I don't, but I have done this multiple times, like Krispy Kreme donut style, you know what I'm talking about? You just want to have one. No reaction, just wild. And that's an interesting thing about this, is it can help restore your gut and your actual digestive tract. 10 months in, I went to the dentist and they said, yeah, the gums that they were all concerned about in the lower quadrant here, completely not having no receding gums anymore, which is wild. And then 11 months in, again, I didn't know when this changed, but I found that my astigmatism was completely reversed. I want you to understand something about this, though, is that you can't fake an astigmatism. And an astigmatism when you're an athlete, and what I do is I do downhill athletics. I do extreme sports. I'm a downhill mountain biker. I'm also a downhill snowboarder. And we go fast, like 50 miles an hour on a snowboard. It's aggressive. And part of that to understand is when you have an astigmatism, it actually causes a real weird vibration within your eyeballs. So it's hard to see stuff. So I learned how to just like let my body suck up the vibrations and just trust that I'm not gonna like endo. This is why I broke a rib twice, because I endoed twice at completely different times, but because I can't see when we're going that fast and with that much vibrations, my eyeballs literally jiggle in the skull. So in their sockets, which can create some problems. It's phenomenal now, because when I'm riding my bike or riding my snowboard, like just this last week where we were in Mammoth, I can see everything. It's the best feeling ever. So I just wanted you to know that's a big deal. And also my hair. So I was one of the people that lost a bunch of hair when COVID happened. And what's great about it is my hair, like, health has come back. And I love that, because one thing I've always like kind of paid attention to is having good hair. So that was a hard thing for me, just because I was like, okay, now I have like spindly hair, and it was like real weird. But I love that after 2 years, I now have my hair back. So that's a good thing too, ladies, right? So that's my story. And I just want you to know that this is for educational purposes only. I shared my story. That wasn't to tell you that that's going to happen to you, or that, everyone's different. Everyone responds differently. This presentation hasn't been evaluated by anybody. This is just me sharing how this whole thing works. So I just want to share with you the aging process, and to understand that as we age, our stem cells, those are the things that heal us and that help regenerate us. They actually mutate and go dormant. And this is what causes all sorts of issues. When you're 20, you have 1 billion healthy stem cells that are going to work. That's why you feel amazing. 30, they declined by 60%. I'm 51 today, they declined by 75%. And you think of 60, 90%, by the time you're in your 80s, you have hardly any left. And the problem is, that's why when somebody like breaks a hip, when they're older, they're done for. They really never heal. And that's a problem. And, even when I was in my 30s, I remember thinking, man, I'm starting to feel age. And then 40 and 50. And, now, when I started this 2 years ago, I'm now feeling like like I said, my vision is back to like when I was in my 20s. My energy levels, my stamina, my strength, so many different things. So I'm going to share with you how this works. So I want you to understand that these patches, though, are non-invasive. They're non-transdermal. That means if you put them on, there's nothing going into your body except your own infrared light. They're actually made out of amino acids and salts embedded into a polyester disc that is fully encased in medical grade plastic. So nothing is actually going into your body. So like the nicotine patch, that's not this. There's nothing going into your body. Okay. So people say, well, then how does this work? Well, let's get into that in just a minute. This is a patented product. This is also a proven product, studied, and this is how it works. Using infrared light therapy. Now, many of you know what infrared light therapy is. You know that it works. There's 400 studies on it, 200 from Harvard Medical School, understanding that phototherapy works. Infrared light therapy is very effective treatment for many things. We are made out of infrared light, right? So just knowing that we are made out of infrared light. So when you put a patch on, it's like basically your infrared light hits the patch. And I love what Peggy said this week. She talked about them being like little tiny mirrors. And those little tiny mirrors are the little amino acid crystals that are embedded in very perfect and precise areas, so that the actual wavelengths that are reflected back onto your skin is a specific pattern at a specific frequency, and it signals your body to pull together glycine, histidine, lysine, and copper to create GHKCU. Okay, so this is kind of like how the sun hits your skin and it triggers your skin to create vitamin D. This is what GHKC does. So if you're trying to understand, okay, well, great, I've never heard of GHKCU. What does that matter? Okay, this is what it benefits. When you increase GHKCU copper peptide, this is going to help support healthy stem cell regeneration. That's what it does. It's going to help you do all sorts of things, like have better strength, stamina, performance, recovery, movement, mobility. Like, it heals things you wouldn't even know. And then you see 12 months from now, oh, wow, this had done stuff for me. So, look at this brain balance study. This woman came in session 1 with a very hot, unbalanced brain. 3 weeks later, she had a pretty calm brain. And 3 weeks later from there, so it's a total of 6 weeks, she was perfectly balanced. This is an example of how this patch will benefit you. You're going to apply one X39 behind your neck, like in the photo here, or below your navel. You're going to apply it to clean, dry skin in the morning. You're going to wear this patch for up to 12 hours before you discard it, and then you're going to repeat the next day with a new patch. I want you to be clear, though, you must drink plenty of clean, pure water. Remember, the patches will go to work where needed most. So maybe you want your hair to grow back, but it might need to work on some internal health issue, like a heart issue. You'd much rather it help there first. It's going to help where most critical first and then move on. So that's how stem cells work. I want you though to commit to 6 to 12 months. When people join with me, I really say you need to commit to 12 months. Most people have some sort of chronic issue that they're dealing with. If that's you, you need to have at least 12 months on this product. I'm continuing to use this. I will continue to use this because I want my stem cells to stay like when I was in my 20s. Okay. I want this to be, let me just share something with you. I want to be able to, my son's only 17. I'm 51. So I'm a little bit older mom. I want to be able to dance at his wedding. I want to be able to be the best grandma I can ever be when he has kids. I want to be able to run around with him at the park and get on the floor and roll around and do whatever. I want to be able to go on family vacations where I'm not so slow that everybody has to wait for grandma. You know what I mean? I want to be active and healthy and vibrant, and I want my brain to be healthy and active and vibrant. Okay, so this is a really important thing to understand. This is like, if somebody tells you drink water, you guys should all be drinking water, and you go off of, say, Dr. Pepper, and you're no longer drinking Dr. Pepper, and you're like, I feel great. Can I go back to drinking Dr. Pepper now because I feel good? No, that's like really stupid, right? Like you're a heroin addict, you get off all the heroin and you feel amazing and you're like, can I just go back? That's our addictions talking. So sometimes we just want to go back to the medications. I don't know what that is, but don't do it. Okay? What happens as your body heals is your body's going to not need the things that you were using, all the crutches and this, pharmaceuticals and things, because your body's going to start to heal. This is key. Your body's the miracle. Remember, nothing's going into your body. It's just everything starts to just work better. Okay, so this is important to note. As far as getting started, I want you to contact the person who shared this with you. Come in at premium if you can. It's the best deal. If not, come in advance. That's going to actually help get you a little bit more so you can start working on it a little bit better. Core is just if you want to get your toes wet, but all three of these have a 30-day money-back guarantee.
All right. Love Dr. Jen. It's been fun getting to know her. And so that gives you kind of from a doc standpoint, her experience overview. What I'm going to do is I'm going to quickly share with you just a little history real quick of this patch and the founder, because it's pretty awesome. We add more credibility to what we're talking about here. And so let me bring this up here. I'm just going to skip down through this and then we'll answer some questions if you have on the patch. So bear with me real quick here. Well, if you haven't been patched, then whoever invited you, hopefully Diana and whoever tonight, then make sure you do get patched because it's going to elevate, activate, regenerate your cells you saw earlier. And it's this gentleman here, David Schmidt. He is the founder of this amazing technology. This guy's brilliant. He's like an Elon Musk of health. He actually says over 130 patents. He has more like over 180 patents. Just got to update this. But 20 years ago, the Navy SEALs hired David to figure out a way to keep these guys and girls, whatever, awake underneath the water in these specialized submarines 18 to 36 hours without having to give them amphetamines. And David has a strong faith in God. Everybody's different in that regard, but that's David. It's interesting because he's a scientist. You don't usually hear the word science and God in the same breath. And David, for some reason, he's really bold as a really quiet but brilliant guy about how he believes that, that God gives him the insight to be able to provide this, and no one creates what only God does. And he felt the Lord gave him an insight to be able to create a 2-patch energy system. It was 2 patches with this light therapy dynamic working from infrared light in the body 20 years ago that would leverage the fat cells in the body to generate energy. And it worked. Well, then the Berkeley swim team found out about this, which then led to Michael Phelps finding about this and wearing this technology during the Olympics. This is Olympic approved technology. It's good for babies, to grandmothers, to the Navy SEALs, to everybody. You've got sports players to this day. You'll see a 2-patch energy system wearing this. And then David started creating other patches. And then in 2008, he turns his attention to stem cells And over 10 years, 80 clinical trials, finally figured this one patch out, this X39 patch, and got it patented. You saw that earlier. And it's really awesome because inside the patent itself, and this is a, let me scroll this down here. This is a patent good to 2040. No one in the world has this technology. Now this company's in 80 countries. And it tells you right here that it has an elevation of this peptide. It's going to activate stem cells, improve energy, elevate antioxidants, reduce inflammation, manage pain, improve stamina, elevate collagen production, improve wound healing. This is all inside the United States patent that we have. And under the FDA, we're approved as a wellness patch, which means there's no side effects. So it doesn't matter what kind of medication your friends or family are on. This is light therapy. There's no side effects from light therapy. So my dad was on 12 medications, kind of like Diana's dad. It's like we always get these amazing testimonies on our dads. And, you know, my dad was on 12 medications a couple years back, 280 pounds, one kidney, right? And then he got COVID. And then his lungs went south. And he went from being able to walk around to not barely being able to walk 20 feet with his walker because he couldn't barely breathe. And his whole energy went south. So his whole quality of life went down. I'm thinking, I'm going to have to put him in an assisted living facility from his independent. And then when I found about this patch, the dad, I want you to stick this patch on you. It's not going to compete with any of the 12 drugs you're currently on. And it doesn't matter if you only have one kidney, it's fine. You know, just put it on and maybe help you with your neuropathy, because I had a friend of mine who called me and said, Ken, 1 week later after wearing the patch, you need to come take a look at my legs. Like, Kelly, why do I want to look at your legs? You know, says because they were purple last week and now they're clear. I said, oh, man, my dad's purple legs with his neuropathy. So I told my dad about this. He puts the patch on. 3 weeks in, I don't feel anything. I'm like, Dad, just keep wearing the patch. Like the doctor said, your brain knows what needs to happen first. And 5 weeks in, my dad calls me, Ken, and what's up, Dad? I can breathe again. Buy me a plane ticket, go see Brittany in Louisiana. And I'm like, and he's in Tampa. I'm like, I'm not buying you anything. I thought I was delirious. You can't walk 20 feet with your walker. You couldn't get to an Uber or do whatever. Well, 6 weeks later, he's in an Uber to Tampa International Airport, flies out to Louisiana, spends a week out to visit my daughter, Brittany, and the great grandbabies. His lungs healed. That completely blew my mind. And, but the brain knows what's most important. And so, like she said, you may want something to happen first, but like my dad wanted his legs first, but the brain knew apparently breathing, not to be funny, was more important than walking. And then later on, a few months down the road, his legs became clear and his sleeping got really good. And it was pretty amazing. So, but this is all inside the United States patent. And the story is, like she said, by the time you're 30, half your stem cells, which are in your brain, your bones, all throughout there, which are there for repair and healing, they're now asleep. By the time you're 60, I'll be 60 in May, they're almost all asleep. This patch turns them on back naturally using light in the body. She explained how it worked. It's pretty crazy. Saw all these things it does, you know, and additionally, your genes, like the genes that make up who you are, your eye color, your height, and all that, they also reset to a younger state, like a third of them within a matter of a couple of days, which is pretty amazing. And make sure someone's not trying to text me. I'm doing something good, got it. On the Zoom here. And for me, this is what happened for me. Like I said, my brain balance, I didn't realize it was out of balance. My wife would have debated that with you, but, you know, but thank God I get to live in the present now, and I'm in my shoes where I'm at with my grandbabies. Or when we go on vacation, I'm actually on a cruise. Matter of fact, we're purchasing a cruise. We're going to take 23 people, thanks to this opportunity, on an amazing cruise this year. And and I'll be there. Where in the past, I wouldn't have been there. My mind would have been spun up. And within 3 months, the collagen in your body is going to refresh. Your skin, your hair, your nails is going to become more thicker, longer, faster, less gray. So I have gray eyebrows. I don't any longer. My wife had wrinkles on her décolleté area right here. She no longer does. And my wife's hair, like she was saying, is definitely thicker, longer, like when she was a teenager. And my wife's, you know, not a teenager, but she looks like one. And then, you know, the heart reversing aids. And this was crazy. There was a study they did with 15 people, and 14 of them had their cardiovascular reversing age by 8 years and 6 months. I had a friend of mine in a networking group. He got hit by a car, and he was okay, but they did a full body scan on him, and they came back, oh, Mitch, and I actually saw him today at a networking function. He's heard this, but he had a stretched aorta, 35% stretch. They're like, you need to come back in 12 weeks. We're giving you bypass surgery, because if that thing snaps, you're going to drop dead. So in the meantime, he starts wearing the patch for pain management, and goes in for the surgery, and they're like, oh, hold on, they scan him. We can't explain it, but now that 35% stress is now down to less than 5%. No need for surgery. And we were talking to Dr. Adam Scheimer. He's a world-renowned plastic surgeon here in Tampa. He's been a Dr. Oz. He makes his patients wear this patch 1 month prior because he says they heal in days versus weeks. And so we went up to him at a convention and said, hey, this did this for my friend. He goes, oh, I can tell you why that worked. And you go, yeah, tell us why. Because your DNA is always talking to your brain. And the DNA told the brain, your heart should look like this, but now it looks like that. And the brain says, oh, I'll go ahead and fix it. And that's how he explained it. I thought that was pretty genius. And so, like she said, you wear the patch 12 hours on, 12 hours off. They tested it in 2 different places on the body to get the patent at 2 independent times, the back of the neck and below the belly button. And, but it works anywhere in the body because there's light throughout the whole body. So I wear it here. It still works, right? And so, because once it's on, the brain is now being signaled, and now the brain's going to go to work. Key is, like you said, bring plenty of water. Make sure you have electrolytes in it, like a Celtic salt, the natural. 1/4 teaspoon, 1/2 gallon, give you all the trace minerals and electrolytes you need. The body runs on electricity, and the patch is kind of using the whole formula to help you out. So, one more thing here. Oops. So as you see, it's a simple technology. It's probably the most prolific technology on the planet, if you think about it. And no one else has what I call this cookie in the whole world. We have zero, and I mean zero competition. Stem cell injections is not the same thing. When you're extracting stem cells out of you to hit them back in you, or pulling someone else's from umbilical cords, aborted fetuses overseas, whatever, that's different than having your brain turn on your own. And then with the elevation of this GHK2 copper peptide, it creates a healthy fertilized area for those stem cells to be super healthy as they're being turned back on. So it's crazy. My autistic granddaughter, level 3 autism. We have 10 grandbabies, 2.5 years old. I have to share this one just in case somebody to call here, because most parents have children. I mean, most people know people who are parents who have children on the spectrum. It's heartbreaking, because when I was a kid, no one was on the spectrum. So this is weird that in this age it is. But anyways, we have hope. Anytime they get this patch on them, the first thing they're going to tell you within days or weeks, hey, my child's focusing. Liliana, my granddaughter, on February 10th, she had cried for 4 days straight. She was diagnosed prior to that on the spectrum as level 3. That's nonverbal, non-focus. And when you're a granddad, and the most wonderful part of being a granddad is if I'm in the room and I come around the corner and one of my grandchildren catch sight and they look at me and they light up and smile, I mean, my heart just melts. I mean, it's priceless. But then you have another grandbaby who doesn't even recognize you or any of their cousins or anybody else, or a toy in front of them, and nonverbal in their own world. February 10th, they get the patch on her, and within minutes, she'd been crying for 4 days straight. Boom, she stops crying. Next day, the doctor's like, what is with Liliana? She's now focused. Here we are, 11 months later, she's become verbal. Mom, she looks at me, she knows me, and their doctors are saying it looks like the momentum of what's happening is reversing all this. And like in her DNA. It's fascinating. So what I want to do is I want to stop here, because I'm going to, like I shared before, I want to stop the presentation, answer any questions regarding the patch. And then after this, I'm going to, if they want to stay on, I'll talk about how much the patch is and kind of the power of what's happened in people's lives from sharing it, and how the company takes 60% of their revenue and they put it back to those who share it, not sell it. And which retired my wife and I in 22 months. And it's helping my kids right now who are busy running their families. But I'll talk about that if you want to stay on after. So let me go ahead and stop the screen share for a minute here and answer any questions. Feel free to unmute yourself, and I'll be happy to answer any questions the best I can. I'm an advertising guy, but I'm not a doctor, but maybe I can, share some experience to help you out.
I just unmuted myself, but this, Joanna, do you have any questions? Because they just
I'm still
got
trying to
the
figure
patches.
this out. I'm like, I think I
You're
got
way
it,
quicker
right?
with it now, though. You're doing great.
We hear you.
Okay, cool. So is there a point, because you're saying that you're aging in reverse and you're, fixing that DNA and all of that, is there a point that you stop and you're fixed, or is this something that you're going to have to keep doing to keep those results?
Well, like she said, it's like I'll continue to CrossFit and the intermittent fasting until I die, right? Type of thing.
Right.
So you can pull the patch off anytime and allow your body to go back to the natural state of decay that we're all in.
Yeah.
Literally, right? I mean, that's
Yeah.
just how, stem cells worldwide are just going dormant for everybody. It's part of the aging process. And so, but I do believe that, so if you want to continue to keep the body rejuvenating these amazing cells to optimize the age reversal process. Now, we're not going to go back to be a little baby again. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, but it's up to you if you want to continue to wear it, you know?
Okay.
And I believe, like my dad, when his lungs got healed, I'm sure he could have taken the patch off and they would have remained healed.
Okay, that was basically what I was asking.
And I've
Yeah.
had, yeah, like if you have like torn meniscus and the brain begins to heal it because it creates new meniscus, new tissue, new ligaments, new joints, because that's what the brain's going to do. I'm sure if you took the patch off a year or two later, that that healing is going to stay there, except for the natural state of decay is going to be to do this whole work on the rest of the body. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good question.
Thank you. I'm going to mute myself again because I'm ordering.
I think Dolly is Rachel's aunt.
Yep.
Dolly, are you there? We'd love to hear from you. We'd love to answer any questions that you have.
Hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, so yeah, Rachel is my niece, and she invited me to this, and I can understand after listening a little bit about it, I can understand why. So this is the second time I've been diagnosed with cancer. The first time was breast cancer. That was almost 10 years ago, and I've been in remission ever since, and hadn't had any other breast cancer come up. But a couple years ago, I had my back was very causing me a lot of pain, and I do have back issues. I've had a couple of back surgeries, but this was different, and I knew it felt different, so I really didn't know what it was. So when I finally went to the doctor and said, okay, I can't handle this back pain, I don't know what's wrong with me. So when we finally got some CT scans and some form, I have a tumor in my lung. And so they did a whole lab work, et cetera, and as it turns out, I have lung cancer, but it's due to a mutation. So see, that's the issue. I have a mutation in my body. So somewhere along the way, in the last however many years, something caused a DNA cell to mutate, and that has been in my body. And so at some point it decided to start creating cancer cells. Well, fortunately, there is a drug out there that targets, it's called target therapy, and it targets this particular mutation. But the point is, it's not like I'll ever be in remission. The target therapy, what it does is it identifies this particular cancer mutation and it kills it, which is great, but I'm never going to get rid of the cancer because I have this DNA mutation. So part of me sounds like this as well. This would be a miracle, right?
Yeah.
But I would be curious as to see the actual ingredients because I'd have to run this across my oncologist, obviously. So I'd have to know exactly the ingredients and how that works in my body.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Great question. It's light therapy. Nothing's going into your body.
So what's in the patch? So how does the patch molecularize my body?
Right. So what's happening is it's the light therapy, the light you have light that emanates from your DNA. It's infrared light.
Right.
All creatures emit light. That light has a frequency, right? And so that light bounces off this patch. This patch is made of organic microscopic nanocrystals of salt and sugar from organic plants that are aligned in such a way that emit a signal. With that signal that triggers the brain to elevate this. I mean, this peptide is going to elevate, and the brain begins to turn on our dormant stem cells. And so in a super healthy format. Any of my friends who've had cancer, it's been amazing. Like we had a gentleman who for 30 years, now he had cancer in the blood. So for 30 years, he had to have a phlebotomy every month. Well, guess what he doesn't have to have now? Because his blood is awesome.
Hmm.
And like I said, my granddaughter, her DNA is changing.
Mm. Well, that was what, after listening to some of listening to the doctor made me wonder if it even has the capability to change a mutation or to change a DNA, you know. So so if I saw, Rachel sent me a website.
Yes.
Does all that information come in the website so I can
Yeah.
share that with my oncologist?
Absolutely. Yeah, that is, this is at info.com. This is at info.com has all the studies on there that were done over the 10 years to get this patented technology. And you know, if you were my best friend, you know, or one of my family members, I'd be like, put the patch on.
Right.
Okay, you can always take it off. You know what I'm saying? So you're in control. But you know, I'll share another example. Now this is not your situation, but it was a very strange. So the gentleman who had the phlebotomy every month, his granddaughter was born with her brain separated down the middle. And so she had obviously cognitive issues. She still could function and walk and things, but it just wasn't normal. And then she had black lesions on the brain, and no doctor could figure out a way to get rid of these things. And the dad said, what do you have? Because the doctors want to give her a medication that was going to cause her to go blind. And the parents said, we don't want that. And they were at wit's end. And the granddad said, just put the patch on her.
Right.
And they did. And within a short window of time, I don't know how many weeks or whatever it was, that lesion left. Not only did that, but her whole cognitive capability like came forward. And he was showing me a video of her at 3 years of age, just 6 months later, you know, saying her ABCs and counting to 20 and running around like a normal little child.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean,
Well,
you know, and so, yeah.
amazing.
Oh,
Well,
yeah. I could go on about the miracles. I mean, like incurable things, and I can't parallel to. I haven't heard anybody yours identically, so I can't. I'm not going to try to give you false hope. All I can encourage
well,
is that, you know, this could be just a wonderful miracle for you, and at least you're in control. And it's not going to mutate these cells in the wrong direction. It's actually going to, you know, clinically, it's going to create them in a very healthy direction.
well, I know my doctor is very forward as far as can you still hear me?
Absolutely, Dolly. Yeah.
Is very forward as far as new medications and new studies. I mean, I'm part of a study as well. I think I would be definitely interested in getting his feedback.
And if you want to get me on a three-way conversation with them, if you're in front of them, you want to pick up the phone, just get me on the phone just to be able to accelerate, point him in the right direction to find what a research he's looking for.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Then I can do that too.
Well,
And
part of it is too, you know, I mean, the medication I'm taking is called Tagrisso. It's an everyday. Well, I did do the 3 months of normal chemotherapy that you would have for most types of lung cancer.
right.
Because of the mutation, I take a target therapy pill every day. And I mean, as far as we know, I'm going to have to take that for the rest of my life unless I have a change in the mutation, which is likely. That's the thing. The mutation, our bodies are interesting, right? Because I'm killing this cell every day with this pill. But so then the cancer is saying, well, you know what? I think I'm going to change this mutation so I can thrive.
Yep.
So then that becomes now another
Issue.
discussion as far as a different medication that I may have to take, and maybe they don't have that type with this new mutation. So it's definitely an unknown future, but anything that you take, especially this particular, because it's a very expensive and very strong medication. There's side effects,
Yeah.
right? And so that you're
Yeah.
dealing with that also, beside the fact that it's, you know, it's killing a cancer cell on a regular basis.
Sure, Dolly. Yeah. Well, like I said, I'd be, I'll be glad to answer what I can and help your doctor see what they need to see so they can make a decision. But the body's designed to heal itself. And I will say this, I worked in the pharmaceutical industry. There's not a pill on the planet that can heal you or me, clinically, not one. All right. Bare aspirin doesn't even meet the FDA guidelines, Food and Drug Safety. So there are things that help keep symptoms at bay. But the brain is always looking to heal the body. So that's just an FYI. So hopefully this is a resource that begins to, that if your doctors give approval, that you can begin to wear. It's light therapy. It's a wellness patch. There's no side effects unless you're on chemotherapy, because what happens with chemotherapy, chemo is looking for the most active cells, and then the body's going to start reactivating your dormant stem cells. And now you have two sets of activity it's looking at, the chemo. So that would be the only, 2 cents there. But otherwise, you can wear the patch in any other situation. No contraindication, any kind of medication. All right. Yeah, you muted, Dally. So, but yeah, we'd love to be able to chat with you offline and help you and your doctor see what they need to see. All right, and thank you, Dolly. We'll be praying for you also. My wife and I will be praying for you because you want to clear the deck on this. You don't want this label that you have on your life. You want this thing gone. And we're going to pray God bless you with that to get that done, and he can. All right, does anybody else have any questions else on the patch? And then what I'll do is if you want to stay on, please, you feel free. And I'll simply do a quick snapshot on how much the patches are. You kind of saw them earlier. And how the company financially rewards those who share it should they decide to do it. You can just simply wear the patch and not have to share with anybody. So, and so I'm just going to show you how to get it wholesale if you just want to wear it versus paying retail. So
excuse
Yeah.
me, you're recording this, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm
Yeah,
gonna hop off.
Yep.
That was amazing. Thank you so much for your time. I'm just gonna get these kids fed and all of that
We
good
get it.
stuff.
Yeah,
Okay.
Joanna.
All
Good
right, it
seeing
was
you.
for
so great
joining us.
finally meeting you. Yes. So, and I'll talk to you soon. Can you send me over the video, or is it saved
Yeah.
here?
I'll send it to you when Ken sends it to me.
Mhm.
Okay, guys. Bye.
All right.
Ma'am.
Bye.
All right. Okay, so let me screen share again here and run through the rest of this presentation to help you see some things. Just real quick, so the company was at about $20 million with all these other patches during COVID. And when this patch patented technology got approved in 2020 and during COVID, think about this, the company began to shoot like a rocket because people were doing kind of what we're doing here. This company has no advertising budget. They don't do social media, television ads, or, just picture this patch at Walmart. It's not going to jump off the shelf and tell you all these miracles. You wouldn't believe it. And then if you're on social media TV, it'd be hard to believe. But that's why the power of word of mouth and power of trust, when your best friend has a result, you're more likely to believe something that sounds to be too good to be true. And that's word of mouth. And that would begin to drive the patches getting on people around the world. And so it went from $20 million to last year, 4 years later, they hit over 600 million. They're going to hit $1 billion this year. And it's the fastest growing company in the world in this basically relational marketing space. Their real estate companies are affiliate marketing, Mary Kay's affiliate marketing. But there's 561 in the world, and we're the fast growing one in the world, second year in now, and the only one that grew pretty much linearly straight out of COVID. And it's pretty fascinating. And then we're part of a team. Like this company's 20 years old, right? Well, we're part of a team who shares this product. And here's a group of us who got together, and we're all independent. And the founder of the company was completely amazed at how fast what we were doing was and how it was working. And they never seen anything like this before in almost 20-year history. And so just 2 years ago, here was 1,700 of us who got together. And there's a founder on the left, and there's a CEO in the center there, and Stephen Gina Merritt, who started this system and hit the highest rank in this business in 23 days. And said they were going to implement a system that usually took 4 years to do. Usually took 4 years to hit this. And they're going to implement a system that would help us, if we wanted to follow it, begin to exceed. And my wife and I chose to do that. I was working 60, 70, 80 hours a week, traveling down to Sarasota and back up to Trinity running an 18-man advertising company, a lot of work, no time for nothing else. And I began to share this with my clients and family and friends as I was running my company. And what I did, like you see here, it was like, you see this picture says you here. Well, that was me. And let me do this real quick here so I can see I just pin myself. Hold on a second. Pin. And so and that was me. I was like, okay, here's you is me. I was me. I started and I helped two of my closest friends and family get enrolled on wearing some patches on my left side and on my right side. And it's called a binary system. And so it's basically starting a left and right team. And what that did is it began to expand and grow. And as it expand and grow, well, the company doesn't pay social media and Google. They take 60% of their revenue. Remember, they're going to hit $1 billion this year. So that's $600 million in revenue. And they just push it back out to reward those who are sharing it, not selling it. I don't sell these things. And I point people to take a look. I patch people and show them what it's been, and then they can make a decision what they want to do. So, and what happened was it took off. Well, this structure here, 2 left, 2 right, and you here is called, they call it manager. You're not managing anything. You just call it manager. But what happens is if you just replicate this play and do nothing more about the comp plan and just help people that you enrolled on your left and on your right, then it's not a pyramid because I have people below me that make more than me. It's just a computer has to put them below me. And, which is pretty neat, and that you can be rewarded based on whatever sharing you do. But I remember my wife and I were about 9 months in, and we enrolled, we were signing a couple, 3 people up a week, and because we were excited to wear patches. And that's what we did. They just bind patches. And I remember we went on a cruise to Hawaii and Bora Bora for 2 weeks. And we were far away from the whole rest of the world. A cruise ship, 4 days it took to get down from Hawaii to Bora Bora. And I remember we came back $2,500 richer. I'm like, hold on a second. I did not put my foot on the gas to make that money. And I was amazed that, oh my gosh, people I don't even know who I am, who I may have started a few people talking, and then I kept on spreading. And I told my wife, I said, honey, we're getting paid from that. I said, we got to get our kids sharing these patches to bring hope to people. And also, I mean, they got kids that are in college education. Houses cost way more now than they used to. And, everything does. I said, this could be a real blessing to them. So, well, this thing goes to like 25,000 a week, which I know sounds crazy. And I don't want to distract you from the power of the hope and the patch and caring about people. And the reason I love this structure, 2 left, 2 right, is because it's not about becoming a salesperson and selling people. It's about, who do you love? The people you love and care about the most, those are the people you're on the phone with, typically, in a given day, in a week, in a month. Could be a parent, a best friend, uncle, someone you work with that you become good friends with, someone you're working out with, whatever. People that love and trust you and that you care about. Well, it's not hard to have potentially 4 conversations with them to get on wearing these patches because you believe that these patches are going to help change their life and protect their family's life. So that's a trusted circle, I call it. And so once you enroll 4 people, the company honors the structure, they begin to reward you. And as that grows, it gets bigger. And as a team commission, right? And so this team commission can go to $25,000 a week. And the crazy thing is now, 27 months in, my wife and I have been blessed. We make more than that. And I'm like, and I love sharing this. And I'm like, there's a 19-year-old kid in Sarasota hit the highest rank in this business, doing really well. I don't know what he's making, 250 to $500,000 a year, who knows? Got an 81-year-old grandmother in Puerto Rico. Puerto Rico is blowing this thing up. This opportunity is in 81 countries. And she's doing exceptionally well at the highest rank in the company. These are not salespeople. You got a 24-year-old making 7 figures out of college. And why is that? Why is that? Is because when you have a product that brings hope that people you love and care about, it stimulates them to want to talk to people they love and care about and get it on them too. And, and then as you get excited, you want to continue to share it. And we're part of a team that we just help people learn how to share it better. Like my big problem is I like to throw up on everybody who's so excited, I talk them out of it versus just ask them a couple questions, show her what it did, and say, hey, would you like to learn more? I got a Zoom link I'll send you, a Zoom I can send you on. I got a patch I can share with you. I got a little visit info that will tell you all about it. Would you like it? Right? And so it's kind of cool. So, but what I'll do here is see this here. This is what these patches come in. They come in a envelope like this. What I'll do here is I'm going to stop screen sharing for a second. And so this right here, beautiful envelope, 30-day supply. Here it is. This is called a sleeve. And inside that sleeve are 30 patches. And this is good till, hold on, here. I think it says September, I think of 2026, like a year and a half from now. I guess if you lose them, they're good for a year later, you know, you'll still wear them. But so they're good for a long time. Just don't put them in the heat because heat is what degrades them. And so that's why I got to replace a new patch every day because the heat from the body eventually would degrade it. And and inside it, you open up and there's 30 of these. So 1 month supply. And all you do is just peel the sticker off and you put it on wherever you want to put it on. 5 seconds, right? And then wear it for 12 hours and take it off. Well, typically the retail rate on one of these is $149 for the month. And as I told my dad and my other friends, why would you want to do that when you can get it for $99 a month or even less? And don't have to worry about selling anything. But you can just enroll, buy patches as a brand partner, and just get it at a wholesale rate. And that's what you can do. You actually could spend $25 and get a membership, like a Costco membership, and get this for $25 each month. And it's all month to month. There's a 30-day back money guarantee on these things, but I don't sign anybody up like that because I tell everybody 90 days is the bare minimum you want to wear this patch. And the reason why is because statistically, 97% those around the world who wear this patch in 90 days see results. Now you heard Jen O'Sullivan, Dr. Jen saying, hey, I want you to wear this thing for 6 months to a year, right? And so, but we tell people, listen, if you're going to kick the tires and you want to see if this thing will work, 90 days is the best way to do it. And we have a cheaper way than to spend $25 and spend $9.99 every month. Save you about $30, just buy it up front. And I'll show you that here. So let me do the screen share. And I'll come back to this other thing. So in a minute. This is how you make it more. This is why we're making more than 25,000 a week. All right, so let's get to the pricing here. So as you saw Jen talk about, so you have, what you're looking at here is I call a 3-pack, a 6-pack, or a 20-pack, right? The 3-pack is $295. That's going to save you $30 over 90 days than paying $25 and going $9.99 a month. And and that's, I enroll people who just want to kick the tires all day long. They just get the $295. And that comes about $3, a little over $3 a day, right? But if you're thinking about getting patches on people you love and care about, you want to think about this premium pack over here. I think it's the price point down to about $87.50 per this. But now, because you're supposed to wear this 1 month for every 10 years of life, that typically is what the founder says. And so if you got a husband and wife and a couple kids, well, you're going to need a 20-pack, at least to give you a good portion. And then that's going to leave you some left over to be able to share with family and friends. And a lot of times what we do is we do a place and replace program. Meaning, like I was at church the other night, share this presentation with friends, and they said, give us a 20-pack. I said, great, I'm going to go to my car and I'm going to front you one of these now that you can start wearing tonight. It was Saturday night. And I said, you're going to get yours probably on Wednesday, Thursday, and but I want you wearing the patches now until then. And then when you get yours in, and I see you at church next week, just give me a new one back and keep the one I fronted you. Well, they call me the next day, Ken, we haven't slept this good in years. And then Joe calls me on Tuesday, Ken, I've seen 4 chiropractors in 10 years, and none of them helped me feel this good. They were all excited, wanting to call their family and friends about these patches, and they still hadn't had these in the mailbox yet. But because I did a place and replace program by placing one with them, getting them on the patches, it got the machine, the miracle machine going. You know, and some people do see it in days. Some are 1 in 10 are one patch wonder, some several days, most several weeks, right? And so, but 97% see it in 90 days. So, and you want to get that collagen refreshing, the heart reversing age, and the brain balancing in that 90-day time frame, and the anomalies of joint pain, back pain going away in that time frame too. So you really, this is not an aspirin. This is stem cell reactivation, right? This is hope in a patch, a happy patch, and that's what that premium kit does. Now, with these packs, real quick, you can never buy these again. It's only a one-time purchase. And on a business basis, this business is built on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance program. You go on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance, and that starts the month after you're on any of these kits here. If you want, you don't have to. But if you're going to build the business, you need to be on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance, which to me is not overhead, because I'm going to buy this for myself. I don't care what the company does. And my wife, she's going to wear it, whatever the company does. But this is hers and mine. That's all the overhead we have besides the kit we bought when we first came in to be able to make 7 figures. And as a businessman, I love telling all my business friends, you got to check this out. How much did you leverage your house? How many employees do you have? What kind of brick and mortar? What kind of obligation you have? Picture that all gone. And wearing one for you, one for your wife or your spouse. It's insane. I'm sorry. But getting back to the pricing, so you have a 20-pack, and here in the middle is a 6-pack. 6-pack is awesome. It gets the pricing down to $89 each. And this is also I just enrolled a couple who just want to try it for 90 days. Said, perfect. It's a husband-wife team. Well, here's 3 months for you, 3 months for her. Get the 6-pack. It gets the price down to $89 each. So, and they did. And there's a restaurant called Bella Brava. And the partner there is doing phenomenal on this patch. And then he got one of his kitchen managers on this patch, and we helped sign him up. And they got just to kick the tires for the 90 days each. And they bought this advanced kit. But also because they're now in position, because when you're on this 6-pack or 20-pack, you now hit the go button on the rewarding program that can enable you to make all the ways the company wants to pay you. The 3-pack, you're limited to $100 a week. And also, but if you're on a 6 or 20-pack on the business basis and you go on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance program starting the next month out, you're good. Now, one caveat, which is awesome with a 20-pack, is you can push the 2-sleeve monthly maintenance format out 90 days. So that means you save next month and the following month on the 2-sleeve monthly maintenance requirement, and don't start that till and we just signed somebody up on a 20-pack today, and so it was May 5th is 89 days from now, basically. So that's when they'll start with their 2-sleeve monthly maintenance, but now they have 20 of these to begin to wear and share and start their opportunity on changing lives and getting all the pay the ways. But you can do it with this 6-pack also and go on the 2-sleeve monthly maintenance starting the next month. And if you don't want to do that, and then if you're single, then get the 3-pack to kick the tires. And if by chance you decide I just want to share this real quick with you. When you come into this program, you're put on a left or right team. Well, what's happening is everybody on whatever team you're on, the next time that someone has to put something who signs up, by default, the computer puts it below you. Once again, not as a pyramid. Pyramids are illegal. But it's just how it works in a binary. Well, you're going to get credit towards that. And it's going to bank the volume of, they call points, which convert back to dollars. As long as you're on a 1-sleeve monthly maintenance, it's going to hold the volume that's occurring underneath you each month. If you don't want to do it, you don't have to, but just if you do, then a team that's being built underneath you on one side that you didn't sign up is now waiting for you. So once you finally become a believer and you want to hit the go button on the comp plan, boom, you're that much further ahead should you want that. So I know I talk fast, and if I could just simplify this back, if you get a 6 or 20-pack and go on a 2-sleeve monthly maintenance program, and your 2 friends left, 2 friends right, get a 3-pack on a 1-sleeve monthly maintenance, and just replicate that play. That's all you really need to know. And based on your belief of why do you want to share this with your family and friends, and to really make all the ways the company pays. And lastly, I'll add this, is that we're part of a team. The team is called This Is It Team. So we have This Is It Team Facebook, This Is It Team YouTube, This Is It Team school platform, and This Is It Team.com. It's kind of like the manual that, kids run a multi-million-dollar business called McDonald's use. It's kind of like our kind of manual for success, but way simplified. We just help people learn how to share better and get them plugged in to be with us to hear the miracles every week. Because just being on fire, hearing what's happening to Diana and other friends and what's happening in their family's life keeps you excited to want to continue to share the past. But if I got away from listening to testimonies and listening to Zooms, then I'd kind of go back to where I was before, like not wanting to patch anymore. And so, and so that is, and we do have a big event coming up and I'll just have to share this. This business is built from, if you're on a business basis, from event to event, and I'm a businessman, so I get this. We were making $1,000 a week before an event like this, and after this, we were making $1,000 a day. Because I used to take my team to go see Tony Robbins, and he is awesome. We go walk on coals of fire, and for my company, and come back all excited for about 2-3 months, and then we kind of be back to where we were before. We just didn't do a lot of things he was telling us to do. You come to an event like this, and you come away not just excited, but with new nuggets where you're able to be more effective at enrolling more people. Well, if you like that, and you brought 10 friends with you, then you're going to 10x where you're currently at. Well, that's what happened for us. And that one of the first events they had, we had 60 people come from a couple of people we started sharing who then shared, and they brought 60 people to the first event. And from that, a lot of people left inspired and equipped to be able to know how to better share this and enroll people who are ready to wear it. And because of that, it's 7 times our growth from 1,000 a week to 1,000 a day. And it has only built from there. And so that's the smartness of an event like this and what it does. And this is from our team. This isn't from LifeWave Corporate. This is from our team who does that. So, and the next one's in August. So, this is the Zoom schedule that the umbrella team, this is a team that has almost 300,000 people in it right now. That's less than 30 months. We should have 1 million people by year end. Now, this company is the fast growing company in the world in this space. Our team is growing faster than the company. Our team is the fastest growing direct sharing team in the world, and that you get to be part of along with us. And so it's pretty powerful. This is a Zoom schedule that we have so that you can plug people in. They're usually done in the evenings because people work. And I do custom Zooms too. I also have a community team that sits underneath this umbrella that's called Believers for Life. We meet on Sunday nights so that we can help each other get better at getting the word out to people we love and care about and strangers we run into during the day. And so that's just some FYI. We do have a system we follow to make it easy, and you can learn more about that should you decide you want to hit the go button on this comp plan. But as in summary, as I said before, tonight you'll be 1 of 3 people. You want to do more research, great, show you how to do that. Or you want to get some patches here, pick your choice. If you want to hit the go button, get a 6 or 20 pack on a 2-sleep monthly maintenance, and we can help you from there, and we'll help plug you in. So I'll wrap it up on that. And so if anybody has any last minute questions, I'll be more than happy to answer them. But otherwise, it's been recorded, so you can go back and listen to that. And, and it's been an honor to be able to at least be with you tonight.
Thank you so much, Ken. I appreciate it. A couple of friends told me they had to sign out, but they asked me to send them the video when we were finished. So I'll go ahead and send that to them.
Sure.
And yeah, no, great presentation, lots of great info, and can't wait to keep telling people about it and keep helping others. So that's what
right.
it's all about.
That's what it is all about. And so people matter, and that's what's the best part. And we're going to bring them hope. All right.
Yes.
I love you guys. You're awesome. And so I'll get this. I'll have my guy also edit it in a kind of phenomenally so it's as short as possible, but it's all there. Then you can send it back out to your friends.
That's perfect. Thank you
All right.
so much.
All
All
right.
right. Have a good night. Thank you.
Thanks.
God bless you. Thank you
Bless
so
you.
much.
Bye, everybody. Bye.